So we are back here today. This is actually our second segment of this program, the Benin War against Ezeshima. So it's going to be a continuity of what we did last week. For those who are joining us today, I have with me in the studio the Crown Prince of Olosha Olona, Prince Ephraim Nomboke. Is here to continue with the analysis of the Benin War against Ezeshima. Before we start the analysis, I would like to ask you a few questions about your relationship with the Benin Kingdom, because I saw a picture of you and late Edu Akenzwa, the son of Oba Akenzwa. So can you explain a little bit your relationship, how you have been maintaining this relationship with the Benin Kingdom over these years? Prince Ephraim, can you hear us? Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay. Maybe we'll continue from. I think I asked you a question regarding your relationship with the Benin Kingdom. I saw a picture, a photograph of you and the late Prince Edun Akezua, the son of Oba Akezua. So, can you tell us a little bit about your relationship with the royal family of Benin?
Okay. So, when it comes to the relationship with the Benin royal family, as said from the beginning, from our last episode last week, my family is a direct line at the front of an institute. Yeah, my family is of the line of the second son who were. And since the settlement in our current location, the relationship with the family has been maintained over the years. My father maintained, even during my time, he maintained the relationship with the palace. He told me how he visited his cousins when Oba Akinzwa was on the throne, and he maintained the same relationship with even the son, late Omanoba
Erejawa.
Well, okay. It was during the time that the Omanoba Iware II was installed that he could not get gold anymore because he was indisposed. He was already at his old age. Okay. So, from the directive he gave, like if I remember, 1998, he once told me something that whenever I look for him and cannot find him anymore, and I have questions, I should go back home. That our elders in the Benin royal family should be able to guide me well. And what he meant by whenever I look for him and cannot find him, that is by implication, whenever he joins his ancestors and I need directive, I should go back to our royal home in Benin. That they should guide me properly. And that was why when he joined the ancestors in 2021, okay, other aspects of our people kept a relationship and contact with the Benin royal family as well. Particularly, I was close to Uncle Edun Akenzwa over phone, and so when my dad passed, I communicated with him as well, and as tradition required, I sent message also to the palace to inform the Manoba of the passing of my father, because that is how our people have done it from ages. Okay, So when my dad passed, it is our responsibility to report it to the Omonaba because he is the head of the family. Despite the fact that we live in a different location, we still maintained that connection and family relationship, and that's why when any of our elders, ancestors pass, they will always report it to the rural headship, which is the sitting Oba in Benin. Okay? Right, so we did the same thing when my father passed, and when I came into Nigeria for the burial, the first thing I did was equally landing in Benin to pay visit to the Omanaba to personally inform him. And also I also went to meet with our Odeon as a government, which was Prince Adrian Akinzo, uncle. Okay, that is where you have that picture. That's where he prayed. You can see when he asked me to kneel down before him, and he prayed for me upon my arrival before I depart to my home base, which is on the Chabana. Okay? Yeah. So, considering that I am now the next to take over from my father, he had, as tradition required, I had to make myself, present myself to him, as well as present myself to the Omanaba. As it happened during the time I came, Omanaba wasn't disposed the way I was to be with him. But he spoke to me through the phone, through the secretary, who is Mr. Irabo. And there is a picture that we took together with my family when we came there. That also probably I will send to you if needs be. So, bottom line is that family relationship has been there for centuries and still remains. Okay? Just as my dad did when he was with us, I have equally continued the same thing by also keeping the relationship with the palace. Okay? Now, to cap it all, there is a saying in our place, which is also evident in what we do when we are burying any of our family members. When we lay someone in my family to rest, it is important that the leg points to Benin, because it is believed that no matter where we are, no matter where we go, whenever it's time for us to join our ancestors, we go home. And our home is Benin. That's why when we lay to rest any member of our family, the leg of the coffin must point towards Benin.
That's powerful. That's powerful. You know, it seems that you have been properly groomed for the throne, and not only groomed for the throne, but groomed to understand the ancestral connection between the Onisha Olona throne and the Benin Kingdom. You know, since I met you in the US, you know, a few months ago, was it not in September when I met you? We have been discussing on the phone the way you are well inclined with the Benin history, the connection with the Olosha Olona throne and all that. You know, it seems that you are well prepared and groomed for this position.
Yeah, by the grace of God, I believe so. My dad was not stupid when he was raising me, I believe. Initially, I did not really realize what he was doing until, as I mentioned, reference, 1998, December 2nd, to be precise. That was when he actually made me aware of what he was doing with me and the way he was raising me. Because one notable thing he told me that day, I just got back from school. Then I was at Nnamdi Azikiwe University. So I came on holiday that Christmas season. And then as soon as I stepped in, he called me to his chamber. And then he told me a couple of things, did a couple of things that a royal man would do. And then after which, as I got up to go back to my room, he called me back and asked me if I knew why he did what he did. Okay, I told him no. Then he made that statement that whenever they look for him and can no longer find him, he wants to be sure of who he left the house with. Okay? And that was probably when that same day he told me that in the event I can no longer see him, I look for him, I can no longer see him, and I have questions regarding our tradition and customs, I should go back home, that our elders in Benin, in the Benin royal family, would guide me properly.
Oh, wow. Wow. Interesting.
Okay. So now that was why, as soon as he passed as well, like the tradition has gone, the Omonaba has to know that he passed. So, and I sent the messages to go and deliver the message to the Omonaba, send a message to go and deliver the message to the Obion of the Benin royal family, which was Uncle Prince Edun Akinzo. Our Uncle Edun, actually, whenever we talk, he always say, my son, Ephraim. That's to show you the level of how he took me.
This is really powerful history narration right here. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, so though we live in a different location, the relationship was never lost. It was kept. There is a picture. When next I get home, I will look for it. Actually, you remember when Queen Elizabeth came to the August Palace
Nigeria
during the reign of Papa Akinzo?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay. You remember the incident on that occasion where Papa Family wanted the Omonaba to come and see the Queen, and the Omonaba asked the Queen to come and see him instead.
Yes.
Okay. On that occasion, there was actually a picture taken of my father shaking the hand of the Queen in the palace here.
Oh, so your father was in the palace when the Queen visited Benin, right?
Yeah, when the Queen visited Benin, my dad equally went there as a member of the family. So when next I get home, I will look for that picture and scan it. I will send to you as well.
So you said before the coronation of the Obi of is it not Obi of Olosha Olona? There is a kind of a process, traditional process that you have to pass through in the Benin Kingdom. Can you explain that to us?
So originally, when Uba was installed, the king. Yeah, when Uba was installed, the king, the title that was given to him was Oba Nisi. For short, for the full length of it, Oba Nisika. Okay. And when I asked my dad why that was the case, he mentioned that during the time when Urugwa mapped out the region where they fought war and made his younger brother the king over that region, so there was this idea of the Oba, they didn't know the exact Oba that was being referenced. Okay, so in order to distinguish between the two, that was how that was how we had the Oba Nedo and Oba Nisika.
Okay, Oba Nedo is the Benin, Oba of Benin.
Yes.
Oba Nisika. Okay.
The Oba Isika, the Oba in distant land. With time, things have changed. Some people call them Obi now, but originally it was Oba Isika that is usually maintained and referred to. The last of the monarch in our place that had the title of Oba Isika title, or the Oba title was Oba Oboko, the one that was poisoned during the British invasion.
Okay, which means after the British conquest.
Starting from that time.
Okay, after the British conquest of the territory, the name, the title changes, right?
Yes. That was when the Warren chiefs that later took over the leadership now started going with the title of Obi.
Okay, after that.
So by our history, the last person to hold the title of kingship, the last person to hold the title of kingship with the title of Oba was Oba Boko.
So is it possible that that name can be reinstated? The original title. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you, girl.
Okay, I said, can the original title be reinstated?
Yes, it can. That is why in our letter heading, that is why in our letter heading, whenever we are sending a communique, you will see in the letter heading that is expressly is stated the house of Uber, the Oba Isika. Okay, just to emphasize on the fact that the title of our king is Oba Isika, and I do not want people to misunderstand the difference between the two. The Oba Nedo is the Oba in Benin. Oba Isika is the title given to Uber as the king Oba in the distant land. What led to that, like I mentioned earlier or before, is that after the settlement of the warriors, you can recall that when Obesige passed, the Uruguay wanted to be a priest instead of being a king. Okay? And there was a little issue on that.
Yes.
In the midst of that, he came to his younger brother, who was his confidant and very close, with whom he had very good relationship. And they discussed this, where his younger brother encouraged him to go back and ascend the throne. That was how he returned to Benin and took over the throne instead of being a priest. Okay? Being the Enoki of our side, as at then, when he became the Oba, his brother, Ube, he made Ube the Enoki of the area. Okay? Then, 3 years after his installation, as the Oba of Benin, he, in a way, to appreciate his younger brother, mapped out all the areas where they fought war, right, and made it a new kingdom. Okay? Then, by so doing, he installed his younger brother as the new Oba of that very area he mapped out of the ancient kingdom to form a new kingdom, so that his brother would take over that. And remember that if he had abdicated the throne, right, it was Ube that would have ascended the throne in Benin. Okay? So, in recognition of his younger brother's loyalty and honesty, that was how he mapped out the area where they fought the war and made him a king over those people. Alright?
Yeah.
You can also recall, as a point of reference, that when Urogwa became the Oba, he installed an Iyesa whose name was Obadekin, Ezene Obadekin. Okay? Through whom the greeting of the Iyesa of Benin was changed to Labiese. Can you remember that?
Yes. I think you said that before.
So, okay. You can make reference to other historians in Benin. I'm sure they will confirm that. The Ezene Obadeke was someone in the Ezechima territory or domain before. But he himself joined our warriors because, for some reason, he was loyal to the Benin monarchy. Okay, he joined our warriors in that war. And as a matter of fact, there is a river in Onicholona where when they saw the river, people were thinking of where the water ended. And that it was that Ezene Opadeke that told them that he knows where it ended. In the statement he made, Animodwa, meaning that he knows where the river emptied into the Niger. That very stream till today is Nonicholona, and that statement was what the river or the stream was named after. If you go to Nonicholona today and ask about Animodwa or Animodwa, they will show you the stream. The stream was named after the statement of Ezene Obedeke, who Urogwa later made the Iyesa of Benin, from which the greeting of Iyesa Labiese came from. Obadeke was from the domain of Ezechima. Precisely from Onitsha. So he joined in the war, and we all settled in Onicholona. That was why when Oba Urogwa became the Oba of Benin, he made him, because he was very loyal and friendly to them, he made him his Iyesa. If you go also, I'm sure that some Benin historians as well, our Benin historians can confirm that Ezene Obadeke came from Onicholona. So yes, he's an Igbo man. He was a member of the domain that Ezechima was ruling. Call it the dukedom that Ezechima was in charge of. He was a member of that. As I mentioned, he joined us in the war and became a loyalist and also became a friend of Ugba and Urugba.
So because of that, the Oba took him to Benin and made him the Iyase.
Yes. Yes.
So the greeting in Benin of Labiese is rooted in the family of this Eze.
He was not the Ezene Obadeke was not an Eze, but he is from the domain of the dukedom of Ezechima.
Okay. It's from the family of Ezechima.
It's from the family. Well, you can say his family, but not family by blood. He was he was a initial subject, like people living. Let's say, for instance, you have a dukedom, right? There are people in that dukedom, right? So he was one of the people in the dukedom that Ezechima was in charge of.
What was the name of the of the territory.
That is the area that we call Ika now.
Oh, okay.
That is the area we call Ika now. Like I mentioned in the last episode, that the residence of Ezechima is in the current place we call Obio.
In Delta State.
In Delta State. Yes. The grave of Ezechima is still in that community till today. At a point, from the historical account, something was about to happen around the grave, and an ant hill built upon the grave, protecting the place, and the place is now like a sacred ground, a shrine that they call Ezechima Shrine. It is there in Obio. Somebody can go and find out.
So
a history that is not verifiable is not a true history. Whatever, all the confidence I have in what I say, I always tell people whenever I say I try to lay out our history, do well to go and verify before you say any other thing. I do not believe in telling history or story that cannot be verified, and I always urge people to go and verify what I've said, because there are landmarks.
Yeah, historical facts.
Evidence.
Yeah, there are historical facts in data.
Yeah.
You know.
Yes.
Fantastic.
So,
fantastic.
That is just now we've established. I think in the course of this conversation we've touched up on the thing that actually we are supposed to be a different topic, but it's good we are touching up on these highlights so that when the full picture is presented, you'll see where things and how things line up.
Fantastic. History is very interesting. This is a good example of history. Wow. Kudos to your father that passed down this rich history to you. And you are doing a wonderful job with the history right now. You know, I really enjoy listening to you. The other day, you were able to pronounce some Benin sentences on this program. I was amazed, you know, and you translated it to the Igbo and Benin to Igbo. It was amazing, amazing. Some elders in Benin watched the video, the first one that we did, the first segment of this program, and they were amazed with your history analysis. You know, this is fantastic. You wrote a book as well, and the book also highlighted this connection, you know, the ancestral roots of the Olosha Olona's monarchy. So you are doing a wonderful job. And you live in the US. Tell us more about your relationship, how you have been able to maintain your connection with the people of Onosha Olona, given that you live here in the US.
Okay, thank you for making mention of that. Yes, I thank my elders in Benin who you said I've watched. This is one thing my dad has always told me: never to sugarcoat our history in order to make people believe. It is always important to say the truth and state the facts as they are, and leave others to go and verify what it is. And I also do that always, making sure that I am not imposing my story or the history of my people on people, rather encourage people to go and do verification and validate the story being narrated. I wasn't born when those things happened. They were just history passed down in the family. A member of the family is entitled to knowing what happened in his family and what did not happen in his family. And that is how the story has been handed down to us.
Yes.
And it is my intention to make sure that the history of my people is well known, because in the past, it was oral history being passed down without the knowledge of the public, which is the reason I wrote the book you reference, which is this that I have in my hand. Okay, people can go to Amazon and pick up copies if they want to know more. Okay, I am in the process of writing volume 3 now, well, having finished with volume 2, which is in my hand, and it's going to be serious because our history is vast. Benin history is not something someone can tell in a day. And you cannot separate the history of Onitshawana from Benin history because Onitshawana people are Benin people.
Fantastic. Fantastic.
Okay? Onitshawana people are not Igbo people. I have to make it clear. Onitshawana people are not Igbo people. Onitshawana people are Benin people. They are Benin warriors that settled after the war.
But they were influenced by the Igbo population.
Yes, of course. That happens in every acculturated nation or community.
Yeah,
true. Have people like now I live in the US. Okay. There are people that were born in people that were born in the US. You can believe that. There are people that were born in the UK, in the Canada, raised there. Possibly their parents did not have opportunity to teach them Edo language. What do you expect to happen?
Yes, they will be influenced by the language here. Yes.
Very good. So that's exactly what happened to us. And if you come to that community, you'll find out that the Igbo dialect of Onitshawana people, the Igbo dialect of Onichubo people, the Igbo dialect of Onichokwo people, the Igbo dialect of Obio people is completely different from the dialect of the rest of the Igbos around them. Okay? So because it's now a kind of a mixture of the Edo dialect and the Igbo dialect, so it kind of gave us a distinct accent and dialect in the middle of the rest of the Igbo community.
I remember a few years ago, I had one lady here in Toronto. She was speaking the Eka. Eka sounds so much like the Edo language. Oh my goodness. The Eka, the Eka language, is it a language or dialect, I will call it? Is it a language? So
look at it, you can check it this way. The closer you go to Benin, the closer you draw to Benin, the more you have the Benin accent and dialect dominant.
Yes.
The further away you go from Benin, you see the Benin dialect starts degenerating or degrading, while the Igbo dialect becomes more dominant.
In Delta, yes. The more you travel through the Delta side of Nigeria, yes. Fantastic.
Yeah, and despite the centuries apart, we still maintain and give names of our Edo roots to our children and families. Okay. So this is just how it is. But take for instance, my first native name is Odiakosa.
I wanted to ask you because the other day, the first time we did this interview, I wanted to ask, but I forgot. Odiakosa is very close to Benin kind of name. So what is the meaning of Odiakosa?
Okay, a child committed into God's hand.
You see, that is the Benin name, Odiakosa. Yeah, that's a Benin name. But a little bit of because of the accent, the dialect changes a little bit, but you can still get the message from that name, Odiakosa.
Yeah. So in Benin, they will have Babadias in Benin, right? We have Badias in Olona. You see that? You have Aribes. You have Aribes in Edo. You have Aribes in Olona.
Wow.
Okay, and so on and so forth.
My Edo people, Edo people must watch this program, this history. I'm going to make sure that I disseminate this video among Edo population on WhatsApp and other platforms as well. You know, we must listen carefully to this history analysis. It's very important. Wonderful. Wonderful. I think
so each, like I was mentioning the names, some of the names that are still prevalent. We have Ojo. Ojo is a Benin word. Okay. We have Osagie. Okay. We have Osakwe. Okay. And so many other names that are Esige and the rest of them, and we still have them. Osifo, we have those names in our history and in the families. Again, despite the centuries apart, the names and dialects are still internal, are still being maintained.
Hey, this is interesting.
Yeah. So, without further waste of time, I don't know how much time we have, but
I think
to continue from where we stopped.
Yes.
In the history last episode.
I think for today we should just wrap up. Next time we'll continue with the history because it's gonna be too long. When it's too long, people will not watch everything. I will come back and do a continuity of that past history. But today on is just like a synopsis, you know, of your relationship with the Benin Kingdom. You know, this is not a straight history analysis. We are just giving a synopsis of the relationship. But we're going to continue with the previous video next time. Let's stop this one for today.